Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is Robby J of the Rumboyz Fantasy Sports Network on YouTube, speaking and representing on the behalf of Council Sports Talk. Be sure to subscribe to them on YouTube as well. And today we are going to be talking about something interesting, something very different than what I usually cover, what I usually go into. Today in NFL news, Colin Kaepernick, Colin Kaepernick's lawyer, Mark Garagos, has released a statement today, February 15th, 2019, stating that for the past several months, counsel for Mr. Kaepernick and Mr. Reid have engaged in ongoing dialogue with representatives of the NFL. As a result of those discussions, the parties have decided to resolve the pending grievances. The resolution of this matter is subject to a confidentiality agreement, so there will be no further comment by any party. Now, this is definitely interesting, as many of you know. Colin Kaepernick and Eric Reid were in a grievance case against the NFL. Kaepernick stating that he was being blackballed by the NFL. Now, what does this say? What does this mean for these two players? Of course, with Eric Reid signing his most recent 3-year deal, and him, still playing, we kind of saw maybe a piece of this coming to fruition in his regard. Now with Colin Kaepernick's in, what does this mean? Is he going to be back in the NFL? How are players reacting? How are you guys, the fans, reacting? The NFLPA, just so you know, if you would like the players' reaction, the NFLPA did release a statement today stating, today we were informed by the NFL of the settlement of Colin Kaepernick and Eric Reid conclusion cases. We are not privy to the details of the settlement, but support the decision by the players and their counsel. We continuously supported Colin and Eric from the start of their protests, participated with their lawyers throughout their legal proceedings, and we are prepared to participate in the upcoming trial in pursuit of both truth and injustice of what we believe NFL and his clubs did to them. We are glad that Eric has earned a job and a new contract, and we continue to hope that Colin gets his opportunity as well. So what that says is, clearly, his peers are wanting him back into the game. News broke recently this week that we did have an offer from the AAF, that is Alliance of American Football. He did have an offer from the AAF, to come and play for them. Of course, he had, pretty much shooed them away, and his rebuttal was that he wanted 20 million. Shortly after that news dropped, this news drops today. I was very active on Twitter yesterday, and even on our episode that we had recently dropped on the Rumboyz Fantasy Sports Network, that for Colin it should be boom or bust. It should be boom or bust for Colin. He should be going to the NFL. I say this on multiple social media outlets. Now, with that, the question still remains: does Colin even want to still play football? You turn down the AF, then you have your settlement today, the day after Valentine's Day. What a beautiful way for Colin and the NFL to make up. Do you still want to play football? Does the NFL still want you? Last time we saw you, you had a completion percentage of about 56%. Overall career completion percentage sits around at about a 59%. So with that being said, do you still want to play football? You did turn down that AAF contract. The NFL mini camps are starting, draft. The way that the game is now played is drastically different. Drastically different. Colin Kaepernick is now 31. So that plays into this as well. Age. Uh, I think he still could play at the quarterback positions. We have a quarterback that is playing at the age of 41 currently in the NFL. Um, I think he could play at a high level, but the game is played much differently now when we look at the quarterback likes of a Patrick Mahomes, and we look at the likes of Jared Goff, Sean McVay, the way he calls play calling. So the NFL has definitely changed. I definitely would love to hear you guys' thoughts and see what you guys think. Can he still be the athlete that he once was? We all know that Colin was one hell of an athlete, and that's a fact. Um, do teams still want him? Uh, I think that with this settling, this is kind of a loss for the NFL. This shows that there was some sort of collusion there. Um, Maybe they did not want to have teams and have GMs and owners having to release emails, release text messages, so on and so forth. That would have created problems for the NFL, for a league that was already having problems, especially surrounding this particular situation. So, with that being said, I'm not sure if teams are going to be so quick to go and get him. I think there's going to be some teams that are hesitant. There is nothing that states that teams have to sign uh, Colin Kaepernick. Uh, and we do know that for a fact. There is nothing in the CBA that says that he must be signed by a team. Um, there is speculation that Colin Kaepernick was given some money. He had settled for quite the dollar amount. No one knows what that dollar amount is, and because there is a confidentiality agreement in place, like we did previously review, we're never going to know how much that amount is. Uh, but ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, definitely want to know your thoughts around this. Was going through the Twitterverse earlier throughout the day, and many of you are saying, why didn't Colin Kaepernick, and many are saying, why didn't Colin Kaepernick, just stick it to the NFL. If you had something on him, why settle? There's also the other side of this where if he have anything. Um, I think that Colin Kaepernick may have had something on the NFL. That's why, of course, they're settling. Why they wouldn't want their emails and their text messages and have to air out all of their dirty laundry. This is one of those instances to where, like most things here in America, it can just easily get swept underneath the rug. But, ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, I am Robby J, speaking on the behalf of Council Sports Talk, host of the Rumboyz Fantasy Sports Network. Make sure you guys check us out on YouTube. Hit the subscribe button on both channels, Council Sports Talk and Rumboyz Fantasy Sports Network. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Rumboyz, spelled with the ZNET. And also give us a like on Facebook. Ladies and gentlemen, please do not forget to follow Council Sports Talk as well on Twitter. You can go ahead and follow Council Sports Talk at Council Talk. That is their Twitter handle, at Council Talk. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Robby J. It has been a pleasure giving you my take on the Colin Kaepernick and Reid grievances. I hope that you guys have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Thank you.